importance, he's always exercising. He's passionate about so many things, including all of his dogs.
7 dogs.
I see him online every single day, and he's playing with his dogs, he's looking after them, he's taking care of them. Just like he's taking care of every single one of us in this room. Yeah? This guy needs the recognition that he deserves. So please, help me welcome to the stage, head of Sophia Management Group, Mr. Konstantin!
Bonjour Paris. Comment ça va? Moi, je ne parle pas français. Therefore, better let's speak English. So how are you doing?
Very good.
Some of you guys, they are ready for the third day here. They did some trainings. Still some energy left? You know that you have 2 days to go, right? Yes. So, let me tell you that the best part of my job is the event part. It's traveling places, meeting people, making friends all over the world. It's when I look around, I meet my family from Trinidad, I have my friends from Japan here, from all over Europe. But it's not only a great thing to meet people again, for me it's also a big chance to meet the new ones again that I couldn't meet so far. So everybody who is new, hello. My name is Konstantin and I'm head of the Social Management Group. I'm also head of the GLG and the Inner Circle. Now that you know who I am, let me ask you, who are you? Jemand aus Deutschland hier? Où sont les Français? Los Latinoamericanos? Okay, so I want to ask you for a little favor today, before I start my actual presentation. After the presentation, I will be out making pictures with all of you and take my time till everybody has what he or she wants. But I want you to give me all of your energy, because today I'm accompanied by my mom.
Hey! Yes!
So, as I already told you, I'm heavily traveling the world this year. Only in 2018, I've been to more than 14 countries. Yes, I promised myself when I grow up I get some sleep. Well, traveling the world, seeing places, being in Asia, Latin America, Africa, non-stop, showed me that I haven't been that often to Europe. This is just my second event in my entire career in Europe. So, I'm really happy to be here in this beautiful city. But I'm not here talking about Paris, about City of Love or anything. Let us just talk about 2018. Let us have a look where we started, which kind of fundament we built together. Not only corporate. When I'm talking about us, it's the Sofia team, including me, but it's also including you. And I want to give you some little hints about the future and what is coming next. Let's see if my slides are working. Yes. So before I start, who are we? We are one life. Does anybody of you know how many teams all around the world we have? One team.
Yes.
And it's 3.5 million people strong.
Yeah.
One team in 200 countries. Hi to everybody of you sitting at home at your screens in 6 continents. What makes us so big? What makes us successful? You heard quite a lot today from amazing presenters. By the way, maybe later you should sing happy birthday to Mr. Gordo. Yes, but what makes us so big? We have a clear vision and have a clear mission. We know what we stand for. We have a goal and we're working constantly towards it. We aim to give education to the world, to ignite an educational financial revolution, to give people the opportunity to use digital financial products, to create new markets, to create new opportunities, and to help people increase the quality of their lives. Our cryptocurrency will create peace, will reduce poverty, and will make transacting business affordable for the masses. Does anybody of you know what time it is?
It's you have time!
Can I hear it from the whole, from everybody? What time is it?
It's your time.
Yes, it's Paris o'clock. So, you know that maybe 50 people are now live on Facebook. So I guess many people are sitting at home and watching us. All eyes on Paris, all eyes on you. Do you know why we gathered here? We are restarting the old continent. We want to show the world that all markets grew this year, and Europe is the next one to grow. We're gathering here with the focus on the new ones. Who of you is new here? Mr. Black Diamond is his first day, of course. Okay, then I'm happy to see that all of you know what it's about. It's about learning. It's about growing. You're not an emerald, you're on your way to diamond. Never forget this. So, therefore, the best presenters and the most experienced ones from this continent are here to share their experience with you. I really hope you appreciate that you're learning from the best of the entire industry. We are here to recognize the ones who worked hard, who are an example for the whole network the whole year. But before we move on, I already mentioned Mr. Gordo. Thank you for organizing the millionaire training the last days. I was there yesterday for 1.5 hours, and I have to tell you, for me this was an amazing experience. I met you guys, it was night ambience, but I really saw how motivated you are. How much you, not only, you're not waiting for somebody to come and teach you something. You want to learn. I hope you get the difference. And this is what will make you successful in the end. Also, I would like now to give a big, and when I say big, I really mean big, applause for the ladies and gentlemen organizing this, making this happen, spending the last months on the road. I've seen it on Facebook every day, a different city, covering the whole continent. These guys didn't see home for quite a lot of time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making this happen. So to conclude, having the next generation of European leaders gathered in one room, I would say, let's take this chance and waken an old sleeping giant up. Are you with me? Yes! Good. So, I already already mentioned that I have seen a country or two this year. And for me, the most important thing about evolving is teamwork. Without teamwork, without sharing of ideas, this all wouldn't be possible. If everybody works just for its own, this is not the idea about it. This is no evolution. So when I'm traveling, I'm meeting, of course, a lot of people from different cultures. What's interesting for me is to sit down with them and to talk to them. I don't like to behave like a boss, or I don't want to sit in my hotel room or something. It's an exchange of point of views, and it's an exchange of ideas. This is the way how we make a big picture even bigger. I spent a lot of time in Latin America this year. I spent a lot of time in Africa this year. And to be honest, it was the first time in my life I really spent serious time there. Not only a few days, but serious time. It was like a month in Latin America, a month in Africa, and what I met there was a ground-shaking potential. I've seen people there working really hard, dedicated, but sometimes also desperate, seeking for education, seeking to get included into the world, and also seeking to find their freedom. So meeting these people, being influenced by this potential, by their ideas, for me it was pretty clear that one of our main goals for this year is evolving and growing these markets. So, let's start with one of our key markets, Latin America. So, ¿dónde están los latinoamericanos? This guy's dribbling half of the world just to make noise. Thank you.
No Latin?
So, half of my slide is lost. No worries. I hope I learned it by heart last night. Why Latin America? Latin America is a very, very dynamic market. Companies from all over the world are investing, trying to use the new consumer patterns to grow their markets and to place new products. Many new companies adapting to new strategies. Do you know how many, really quite a lot of companies don't use any more traditional marketing channels? They're using MLMs. Yeah. So, I met you Latin American people there, and what I saw is that you guys have such an amazing temperament. There's like no blood in your veins, it's just liquid fire. So, of course, when you see these temperamental people, yeah, dedicated to the max, then it was pretty clear to me why the financial world is not only evolving and growing in Latin America. No, it's adapting at your temperament. The whole financial world works for you there and not you for the financial world. So let's sum up. You've got very goal-oriented, temperamental leaders. You have a generation that really wants to work, disciplined. The next thing is new product portfolios. Every company wants to grow their markets. This combined makes Latin America a very desired continent for growth, for investment, for the whole retail market. I can tell you that we grew that much this year in Latin America that we almost hit 400,000 people only on this continent. But I expect more next year. So far, Latin America. The second key market of us is Africa. I often get asked, why are you going to Africa? What do you want to do there? It's such a poor continent. And exactly this is the point. Cryptocurrency has so much to offer that can help this continent. Include everybody of this continent in the world. So, let's start, for example, with the role of cryptocurrencies they play in economic growth in every country. This was even stated by the latest report from the Spanish National Bank. cryptocurrencies can ease up border transactions and lower transaction fees. And for those of you who like statistics, did you know that the highest rate of cryptocurrency holders is in Kenya? I was as well surprised. But there are many more problems in Africa that can easily be solved with cryptocurrency. Talking about potentials of this continent, we have to start with the including of the unbanked. Unbanked are per definition people who have no bank accounts or nothing similar. Usually they pay in cash, they have no insurances, no pensions, no professional related money services. These people have one big problem. They can't receive their money. Also, they can't loan money. Many of you might ask themselves, where's the problem? So, if you have no financial empowerment, how do you want to be part of this beautiful 21st century revolution? How do you want to develop? If this is not given, there is no security for you, and in the end, there is no hope. Unbanked people are forced to think short terms, day to day, what opens them to exploitation. Think about countries with wars. Think about countries with child labor, extreme pollution. Does this happen in France? Does this happen in Germany? No. This is almost exclusively in countries with a high unbanked population. Being unbanked is not the only problem that you can't loan money, you can't get your money. You also can't send money. The times I was in Africa, especially in Nigeria, I met people who said, when I want to send money to my mom, I'm baking a cake and I'm sending it. Then I'm praying that the postman is not hungry. Yes, but what do the others do who have no baking skills? They use remittance services with their high taxes. We know that in some places on this planet, remittance services are very important because it's the only way to send money. But the remittance services know it, so they tax you quite a lot. The World Bank states that this market is a market of $600 billion every year that people send to others all over the planet. When I think about it, I can promise you one thing. Cryptocurrency won't only take a piece of this cake. Cryptocurrency will take the whole market. And it will take it by storm. You know what? Why should anybody pay 10, 20, 30, sometimes 50%? Imagine 50%. When you can pay less than 1. So when I tell you, this market has a potential of $600 billion every year. I still didn't mention the 22 trillion business to business. Okay, the third thing I want to mention is wealth preservation. I think we're all working, and the problem is that our wealth, our income, is tied to a currency. If it's tied to a currency, it is dependent on the strength of this currency. There are not so many strong currencies left on this planet. Let me give you a nice example of Africa with the 1 trillion Zimbabwe dollar bill. I think you understand what I'm talking about. After the last world crisis, the US started printing money. The last 10 years, they printed 9 times more money than they had the previous 200 years ago. And this is not exclusively a USA problem. China did it, Russia did it, UK did it, Canada did it. We, the European Union, did it too. Everybody all over the planet does this without even thinking how this affects the planet, how this devaluates your work, your heart's blood. Thinking about this, I think you see that all over the planet there are quite a lot of people who want to put their money into something that doesn't get devaluated. If we now combine my last 3 points, and you just think about it, what opportunities cryptocurrency creates, then everybody of you should understand the potential of Africa. So now, the last 10 minutes, I'm standing on stage, talking about evolving markets, growing the network, Latin America, I want you to double yourself next year. When I'm standing here and talking about it, the first thing I have to ask myself is, are we able to handle such a growth? Or will it be too much? Will it be the Wild West? What will happen? Well, asking myself this question, there's clearly one answer. More than ever, ladies and gentlemen. The next strategy for this year. Born in January 2018 in Frankfurt. The beginning of the new generation, the beginning of the GLG. What happened there? Behind the scenes the whole year. You all know that the network in the last years grew very fast and grew very, very big in a very short time. The whole industry never saw such a rapid growth like we did. Yeah. And this applause is an applause for your work, just to let you know. So, we took this as a big chance to let more people work a slogan into practice, together for more. We saw that there is now a huge demand for more closeness, for more interaction, corporate and network. Because in the end of last year, these were two different things. What for me the biggest problem was. So, we aim to become geographically stable at the first, so that we can answer all of your questions. An easy information flow, so that we can duplicate everything. And the next thing is, we wanted to reward everybody who is loyally and dedicated, committed, working with One Life. As you see, our main goal was to create a strong leadership for the network and a community of professionals. The first thing we did, we cleaned a little bit.
That's a good one.
Importante, yes. The next thing we did, we were searching for the new faces. And today, you saw Julian, you see Andy, you'll see Dino. You will see a lot of these new faces born with the new generation, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, you deserve a applause. We developed new leaders, not standing on stage presenting themselves with their sunglasses and dressed like a tropical bird. No! When I look around, I see professionals, people standing on stage and not presenting themselves. They're presenting a world company and their products.
Yes. That's
Now
right.
it's the time for me to say thank you. That you did your contribution to this.
Perfect.
Looking back at the last years, comparing to this year, there wasn't even one compliance problem on stage caused from the network to corporate.
Wow! Perfect.
You see, from time to time, it's quite necessary to clean.
To clean up.
Yeah. So, we're very, very eager to keep on supporting the ones who lead by example and evolve with their teams, not only themselves. And the main thing you will see in my whole presentation is, it's all about communication. If you want to work in a team, you need to communicate.
Yes.
This will ease up and every work process, and this will raise your success. You will improve as well as your teammates will improve. The GLG gives us also another chance. We see where we're growing rapidly, where there is a demand of help, where we can do something, and yeah, how everything is growing. In the last months, one of the biggest growths was in Africa. Just want to say hi to everybody who's watching at home. But also Europe. If you want a little proof about it, just look at your right, look at your left. What happened to this continent? And then you understand this growth, and then you understand what the gentleman organizing this year created. Great groundwork, once again. If you look to the headline, you see 3 words, hand in hand. End of last year, as I told you, I was corporate, there was network. I think a lot changed. Everybody of you guys who wanted to come to Sofia, I did my best to meet you, to find some time for you. But this was not the only thing. I want to tell you, when I'm standing here in front of you and screaming things like together for more and hand in hand, that we contributed a lot this year. In 2018, there were more corporate appearances on network events than in the last 3 years combined.
Very true.
Just let me know that Mr. Offer from corporate is also coming later. So let's count this double today. Okay, the GLG was not the only thing born in January this year. We already heard a little about the training program of the One Academy, the One Forex. It is a training program created by leading professionals of this industry, supporting you with education, helping you get into this industry, learn first basics, in-depth theories, and in the end, make you a professional trader. There are 5 different courses in which you learn risk management, how you start, and what for me was the most important thing, you get 3 fully developed strategies, how to trade. I get asked every day, why Forex? Why is it so important? Why do we like it so much? First argument, it's the most liquid market on this planet. A daily turnover of $5 trillion. So, do you know how many zeros after the 5 exist? How many do you think it is? Don't ask Google, nobody likes to cheat. So how many zeros? Mr. James? 12. Almost. This is a 5 with 18 zeros. So, yeah, what? So, I think everybody of you should strive to get educated, to be part of this. And it's not only a financial growth this offers you, as well as a third max out and an income opportunity. The next thing it grants you is security. You can protect yourself, your family, and your business from currency risk. It's a powerful tool creating security. Just think about what happened 10 years ago. Again, let me ask you, Mr. King, what happened 10 years ago? A financial crisis, a big recession. Overnight, the whole financial system of the world broke down. And this affected every one of us. I don't think that anybody of us could say that he or she didn't feel it. Millions of people lost their jobs, lost their homes. Thousands of companies closed down. People all over the planet lost everything overnight. Total wipe out of their investments, their savings. In the end, their whole existence got destroyed. So, therefore, we prepared this ebook, 3 days of the next recession. For me, it's not a question if this will happen again. If you look around in the market, what is happening at the moment, the question is when it will happen. And I don't think that we have so much time left. Therefore, I sat down with our experts, and the 2 main things, the 2 main questions we wanted to answer is first of all, what can you do to protect yourself from all the risks and the dangers approaching not to swallow you in your existence? But where there is danger, where there is a problem, there is always an opportunity. This was the second thing, the second question we asked ourselves. How can we teach people to use this opportunity? To use this to grow even stronger than they were before? So far, this ebook is only available in English, but I think it's time to make it more accessible for everybody, because some of you speak only Spanish, Chinese, and therefore now we're translating it into all the key languages. What should be up in the next 2 weeks or 3? Yes. Sorry. Okay, so far the retrospective of this year. Let me just mention one last thing. There was a little issue we had, and then we can move forward. Let me just tell you that the coin safe issue is solved.
Wow!
Good! The Caribbeans like it. So, next week should be the official communication, telling everybody what to do, and you will be informed about next steps, everything. Just don't bother, as I promised to you. Also, this will be solved. But now, back to the future. And the future will be definitely one of the most important things. Still 3 days of procession. Yes, I promised you this will be our future. But also Dealshaker. So I guess this was the applause for the old platform. Give me some applause for the new one. And I guess when you see what happens to this platform, next time I'm gonna ask you won't sit down, because you're making the biggest applause with the biggest noise ever. But now let's start talk a little bit about it. What happened? We evolved Dealshaker according to community needs. We wanted to provide merchants now with more value, because consuming patterns are changing a lot. People don't buy only product because of their characteristics, because of the price or the packaging. Many people buy product because of the image of the seller. Now we will provide the merchant with a lot more value. Again, the element of communication. You can communicate with your potential clients. You can put up videos in order to support your product. You can put up success stories. I'm following Dealshaker from the very beginning, and I see that there were quite a lot of success stories that deserve to be shared. This platform, combining it with social media, with all the advantages of it, this means that every potential buyer now finally has the chance to get to know the seller and the person who's behind it. Again, I lost my slide. But so far, we call Dealshaker an e-commerce platform, an advertising platform. But for me, it is so much more than just a marketplace. It is, as I told you, we evolved it according to community needs, taking the next steps, and I think all of you patiently were waiting that it's finally here. So I know it is live already, and the next steps will come. I don't want to go that much into detail, because otherwise Mr. Duncan doesn't have work later. So we also prepared for a nice training, a nice presentation from one of my favorite colleagues. Duncan, it doesn't count when you're clapping for yourself. Let the people clap, don't do it for your own. So, talking about the future of Dealshaker, this is very, very closely tied to a franchise model. I think everybody of you knows what a franchise is, right? Thinking about everybody of you who heard about small businesses like McDonald's, like Starbucks, like eBay. You would be very, very surprised to see how many businesses You interact on a daily basis of franchises. It's gas stations, hotels, car dealerships, restaurants. Franchising out of the world. So, what is good about this model? It is a big platform tailor-made for small markets. You'll take a product out to the world, spread the word about it in new markets. Because nobody knows the neighborhood as well as you do. No, a centrally held platform doesn't know how to approach a merchant in Trinidad, doesn't know how to approach a merchant in Vietnam. But you guys know how to do it. The next thing is, you don't necessarily need business experience. We give you the training you need to operate with this platform, with this business. It gives you the independence of a small business combined with the strength and all benefits of a big business network. What else is good about it? You can offer it in your language, offer your currency, and offer your payment method your market feels the most comfortable with. Why is this important? Dealshaker is proudly Bulgarian in its origin, but proudly international in its operation. So it wouldn't make sense offer in Venezuela Dealshaker in Bulgarian and charging people in left, right? Maybe you understand now why franchise is so important. Let me now proudly announce you the first franchise holders. King James, Simon and Tiffany, Alejandro, not here. Diego, Yari, Elena, oh sorry for this. I wrote the presentation last night, I didn't want to bring this mistake. And Andre Pascal. So big applause for you guys. You are the pioneers of something big that will happen. So far I was telling you about growing networks, growing markets, and growing Dealshaker. What keeps us from this? What was the biggest problem so far? Not Jamaica Khan in England? The KYC procedure. So far, when I hear your reaction, I know that many people of you face some problems with KYC, right? It was, let's call it as it is, it was really annoying, such a long process of waiting. As I told you, we grew pretty fast in a pretty short period, and there were some other difficulties for my team, which I will mention later. But now we found a solution. Let me tell you, the time of wait is over. Therefore, let me introduce Jumio. Applause for Jumio. No more waiting. He promised me to do some crazy things and show my mom some energy, you know? She only came down to see me, she came to see you. Because when I come home, I always tell her, Mom, look what I'm doing, traveling the world, everybody's going crazy. She's seen Africa, she's seen Latin America, Europe, wake up, show some love for my mom. Yeah. Good to see both of my families combined in one room. So, what is Jumio? Jumio is a software mix of an artificial identity, a computer vision, and ID experts who identify your document if it is authentic and belongs to a user. And they do let you immediately and accurately trust and know your customer. It eliminates online fraud pretty easy. It's an ID scan and a real-time selfie that recognize all biometric points of your face. And the good thing about it is, if it gets rejected, you get immediately the reason why it doesn't accept your ID or your selfie. Of course, if you take somebody else's ID, this won't work. It's the most accurate solution in this market. We didn't want to start working with a beginner. We wanted, as we aim to be the biggest and the best, we aim to work with the best. Therefore, it is used by leading companies all over the planet. Doesn't matter if it's in the gaming sector, sharing, financial, retail, or blockchain industry. Millions of transactions have been made by Jumio. So again, this is not a newbie, this is a global player we're with. Another very, very great thing I like is, I mentioned Africa, including poor countries, undeveloped countries. But where is the next problem? When you're unbanked, there are various reasons why you're unbanked. The one I love the most, people don't trust banks. So I think Africa is a role model for all of us. The second thing is, people are not worthy to be worked with for the banks because they don't have enough money, because they can't afford opening work with banks, sorry. And bank branches are not conveniently located. But in many, many cases, people simply don't have an ID card, they don't have a passport, they don't even have an authorization that they live somewhere or that they're alive. So our KYC and compliance department always try the best to include poorer and undeveloped countries. But as you might imagine, this is very, very tricky and time-consuming. Now, Jumio is offering you a solution without making any compromises. I think Duncan will tell you more about this later. Great, then let's summarize. We will take the whole identity process to a new level. The only thing you have to do is just register in the new Dealshaker, and Jumio will do the rest. Bless you. So, I didn't even start talking about the slide. 2018 is slowly coming to an end. We're at the end of November right now. So, I think let's take 1 minute, just look back. Remember how this year started? Woo! No, it wasn't definitely woo. And just think about where we are now. I think maybe we don't see every day what we are doing in Sofia. But looking back on the last 11 months, I want you to stand up now and give an applause to my staff in Sofia. People dedicated, working for you, day and night. Let me tell you, there are 4 floors of people dedicating their biggest part of their lives, helping you, helping evolving this project. Always stood behind you, no matter how hard times were. Please always keep this in mind when you expect things to happen within 1 second. So, we put a lot of dedication in this year to support you, to grow with you, to be back stronger than ever. You see what happened to the network. You see what the GLG gave you. We gave you more trainings. We gave you more support and equal standards. So that it's not like it was before, that somebody felt on top and felt superior than somebody else. We created a solid base of people among equals. Evolving the network wasn't the only thing that happened. Keep in mind that we're almost approaching the last period of the coin offering. You know what this means in 6 weeks, right? Dealshaker is knocking at our doors. A very new, big platform. And we're definitely not stopping evolving it and bringing it to the next level. This was just the first step, except more. But it is also questioning us. Almost every day it's a question, where can we grow? Where can we be more sustainable in our business models, in our development? How can we think about tomorrow, not only about today, thinking about next year, stronger, being stronger? For me, it is very important that everybody of you keeps one thing in mind. The job of self-improvement is never done. Never. It doesn't matter if it's in business. It doesn't matter if it's your health or if it's your mind. Improve every day a little bit. Step by step by step. You don't see every step. Looking back 11 months ago, you see what happened to you. Me, for example, I like traveling with a book in my hand. I'm a little bit a nerd. And on my way to Paris, I read a recent research about cryptocurrency and some of the cryptocurrencies. How much energy they use for mining and for actual usage. Only these emissions they create will push up global warming up to 2 degrees Celsius. You know what this means, right? Well, let me tell you that we are not part of this. Yes. And we will never be.
Yes.
We are one of the leading companies in this business. And we are really aware of our responsibility. Talking about responsibility, I think this is the only time for today I don't speak about us, let me speak about me. I want to be a little role model for everybody. Just to know, wait, please, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. I want you always to remember how privileged you are. I want you always to remember that you have responsibilities for the footprints you're leaving on this planet. It's not only you, always look left and right for the people surrounding you. As I already mentioned, I spent quite a lot of time in Africa this year. There were almost 4 weeks, and I was in about 10, 11 countries, something like this, only on this continent. And there is a saying telling that if you go to Africa and you come back, you're not the same anymore. And definitely this is right. Each of my travelings there really moved me a lot. It was the warmest welcome, the best stays, and the warmest goodbye. But when I came home, I was thinking about how can I contribute to improve the situation there. I saw many things that were really heartbreaking for me. And some of the gentlemen here in the crowd, Jamil for example, joined some of our trips when we visited the kids in Uganda. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let me present you something that is very close to my heart. I think that we all together, we can make a change. So what is the plan? We will start a project with help of some locals and some leaders from the network. And we will do it via Dealshaker. We want to collect some money to build the first East African orphan hospital in Uganda.
Whoa, whoa. That's a big. That's big.
How will this work? We'll put it out on the Dealshaker landing page, and you will find it under the point Dealshaker Christmas. If you want to contribute, you can buy a coupon for €5, 25 or 100. This whole project will be up till middle of February. So, I know that all of you love me, and I know that all of you know that I have my birthday in the middle of February. And all of you want to give me some birthday presents. If you really want to do, support this project, ladies and gentlemen, because the kids deserve it. When I see your reaction, I definitely don't think that it will be a problem. Raise this money and help these kids. Yesterday, when I was at Jose's seminar, I mentioned that this little boy on my arms here almost broke my heart, and when I see how they live, they deserve so much more. Really. Please contribute. You're doing it for a very, very great thing. Here you can see on this slide these two gentlemen that are helping us building it, and here you can see the land of Uganda. Exactly here the hospital will be. I don't know how long I'm talking now. So, let me tell you that this will be my last event for this year. Early morning tomorrow, I need to go back to Sofia because we need to finalize the strategies for next year, because in 1 year I also want to stand in front of you and show you what we have achieved and what we have done. This year has still 5 weeks to go. We didn't finish, and I'm not a fan of New Year resolutions. Because somebody who says, I want to do this on this date, will do it never. You can do a change every day, every minute. So, I don't want to hear anybody complain at the end of the year that he didn't like this year. Yeah! First of all, you have no reason to, and the second one is, you have still 5 weeks left. 1 month to make this year and glorious. So, after these 2 days, I want everybody of you to go home, motivated, and to give the best of you. To finish this year to the max. Before we show the world, the beginning of next year, who we really are. Ladies and gentlemen, we one-lifers, or as Andy said, high-fivers, we overcame a lot in the last 4 years. But we grew every time bigger and stronger. This wouldn't be possible without you guys. This is not an achievement of corporate, this is an achievement we achieved together. I'm looking so much forward to the future, and it will be a bright and interesting future in front of us. That we will march together. Ladies and gentlemen, together for more, thank you very much.
Hey! Wow.